safe at your home, right? Okay, today we will discuss about the remaining part of the alimentary canal. In the previous lecture, we had discussed about the mouth, pharynx and esophagus only. Today we will discuss about the stomach. Food goes to the stomach from the esophagus actually, and in esophagus you know that there is a movement is called the peristaltic movement, in which the esophagus wall show the contraction and relaxation, and through this contraction and relaxation the food from the mouth through the esophagus goes into the stomach. Stomach is actually a J-shaped structure, as a very elastic in nature, and it can hold the food for very long time, approx 2 to 3 to 4 hour approx, right? And it has capability to store the approx to 1 to 3 liter of food materials, right? Because it has an elastic property. In stomach actually the digestion of protein has started, because the stomach consists the digestive enzyme for the proteins, right? It is elastic in nature and has a 3 parts: the fundus, cardiac and pyloric part. Fundus is the part which is attached to the esophagus actually, and in the fundus, when the food is entered, there is a sphincter is present which prevent the backflow of the food from the stomach into the esophagus simply, right? Next is your cardiac part of the food. The cardiac part of the food is the middle part of the, this is the upper part, this is the middle part of the stomach, and where the actually the simply you can say that the food is stored, right? Next is the pyloric part. Pyloric part is the lowermost part which is attached to the intestine simply. In the stomach there is in the wall of the stomach there is a gland is present, is called the gastric gland, because the wall of the stomach is called the gastric wall. So the gland which is present in the gastric wall is called the gastric gland simply, and these gastric gland actually release the gastric enzymes, right, or gastric juice, which consists the various enzyme. In case of stomach, because the stomach have acidic environment, so gastric juice actually consists the HCl, hydrochloric acid, and various inactive enzyme for the protein digestion. This is the pepsinogen and prorenin. These are the 2 enzymes which help in the digestion of protein, which we will discuss during the digestion of food, right? So this is the enzyme which is present in the stomach, released by the gastric gland of the stomach and present in the gastric juice. And the main the gastric gland actually and the gastric juice are present in the pyloric part of the stomach, right? When the food enter into the stomach, it become acidic because of the HCl, and the small amount of protein has digested into the stomach, and when the acid is mixed into your food, this food is called actually the chyme, CHYM. This is called the chyme. This is the food in stomach. The food is called bolus when it comes out from the esophagus. When the bolus is mixed with the gastric juice or gastric enzymes, this is called chyme, because it is acidic in nature, right? After this, the food goes into the small intestine from the stomach. Again, there is a sphincter is present between the pyloric and the small intestine, duodenum part of the small intestine, which prevent the backflow of the food. The small intestine is very long in size, approx 7 centimeter in long, 7 meter in long, sorry, and the diameter is 2.5 meter, approx 2.5 centimeter only. Because of their diameter is very small, that's why it is called the small intestine only. And in case of large intestine, the size of the large intestine very less as compared to the small intestine, but the diameter of the small intestine is very large. So that's why we call it is a large intestine. One more thing about the stomach is that the stomach wall consists of raphases like this. This is the raphases which actually increase the surface area of the stomach for the digestion of the food simply, right? Okay, the small intestine, about the first part is the duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Duodenum is the part which is attached to the stomach simply, you can say that, and they have pyloric and duodenum have an opening is called the sphincter which prevent the backflow of the food. The maximum digestion of food takes place in the duodenum part of the small intestine. Here, the intestinal glands are present which release the intestinal juice, and this intestinal juice is alkaline in nature. It means when your food is entered from the stomach into the intestine, it becomes alkaline because in stomach food is acidic in nature, and when it enter into the small intestine, it become alkaline because the medium of the small intestine is alkaline or basic in nature, and the medium of the stomach is acidic for the digestion of protein. For the action of the enzymes, simply the medium is required. So here your food become alkaline because of the intestinal juice is alkaline in nature. The intestinal juice is consists the various digestive enzyme for the various digestive food in your food. Digestive material which is present in your food, for example protein, carbohydrate, fat, lipid, all these vitamins, proteins, right? All these substances are present in your food, and the digestion, maximum digestion takes place in the duodenum, right? Next is your jejunum. Its main function to connect the ileum and the duodenum simply, and there is a small amount of digestion takes place because maximum digestion takes place in the duodenum only, right? After this your food goes into the through the ileum into the large intestine. This is the connection of the small intestine and the large intestine. This is called the cecum. This is the anterior part of the large intestine which is connected with the ileum of the small intestine, again with the sphincter is present which prevent the backflow, and because its size is very small as compared to the small intestine, so there is no digestion of food takes place in the large intestine. Only the waste material or undigested food is passed from the small intestine into the large intestine, and here only the absorption of the drugs and water takes place. There is no digestion of any food material takes place in the large intestine. The cecum is proceed into the colon and rectum. These are the very coiled structure of the large intestine, very coiled structure. Colon has three parts: the ascending part, the transverse part, and the descending part, which is attached to the rectum. Rectum also have elastic property which store the undigested food material until it goes out from your body through the anus. So this is the function of the large intestine. This is all about the alimentary canal, in which the alimentary canal, the mouth, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine and the large intestine. This is the alimentary canal, right? Next, these alimentary canal consist the digestive gland, various digestive gland which actually help for the digestion of the food. First is the salivary gland. These salivary gland is present in your mouth. The secretion of salivary gland is called the salivary amylase. And the amylase means the enzyme which digests only the carbohydrate. It means in our mouth only the digestion of carbohydrates takes place, and the food is remaining in your mouth for very short time period. So only 30 to 40% of the digestion of carbohydrate takes place into your food, into your mouth only, right, from your food. And this salivary gland have three main parts: the parotid, the submaxillary and the sublingual. The parotid gland is present here, the below the cheek line. Here the parotid gland of the salivary gland is present, parotid part. The submaxillary present below the jaw region, and the sublingual is present below your tongue. So these three salivary glands collectively release a fluid is called salivary amylase. Collectively, salivary amylase is an enzyme, and saliva is secreted by all these three. This saliva consists the salivary amylase and lysosomes. Salivary amylase help in the digestion of the carbohydrate, and lysosome actually kill the bacteria if any bacteria and microorganism is present in your food, right? After this, Your food goes into the pharynx, esophagus. There is no digestive gland in the pharynx and esophagus because they are the connecting part of the alimentary canal only. Next we will proceed into the stomach. I told you the gastric glands are present. Next your after the stomach there is a pancreas is present, and it is a very important gland because pancreas behave as a two type of gland: exocrine gland and endocrine gland. Exocrine gland are the duct gland. It means duct are present. These are the ductless gland. Ductless gland. Duct means like this. Ducting, you know that, na? Tube-like structure is present. It means if they synthesize anything, it goes from to the target side through these duct. But here duct are absent. It means if they synthesize any substances, dissolved in the blood and goes into the target site simply. So endocrine glands are the ductless gland and exocrine gland are the duct gland. Exocrine gland secrete an juice, you can say, that is called the pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juice is mixed into the intestinal juice and released into the small intestine during the digestion of food. And these pancreatic juice consist various protein digestive enzyme. For example, the trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, carboxypeptidase. These are the protein digestive enzyme which is present into the pancreatic juice or of the exocrine part of the pancreatic gland and released into the small intestine. Next is the endocrine part of the pancreatic juice, pancreas, which act as an endocrine gland also. This part of pancreas has three type of cell: alpha cell, beta cell and delta cell. Alpha cell release an hormone because the secretion of endocrine is called hormone and the secretion of exocrine is called juice, which actually help in the digestion. But hormone help in the various function in our body. For example, alpha cell, which release an hormone, is called glucagon, which convert the glycogen into the glucose in our body. Which convert the glycogen into the glucose, because glycogen is stored into the liver. From the liver, the glycogen is converted into glucose with the help of these glucagon hormone, which is released by the alpha cell. Next is the beta cell, which release an hormone is called the insulin, and insulin help to convert the glucose into the glycogen into the liver simply. And because of the lack of the insulin, there is a disease occur is called the diabetes. In that disease, the level of glucose is increased in your blood because there is no insulin, there is no secretion of insulin by the beta cell. So that the blood glucose does not convert into the glycogen, so that the level of sugar or glucose is increase in your blood is called the diabetes. This disease is called diabetes. Third is the delta cell, which release an hormone is called somatostatin, which control on the alpha cell and beta cell. It means it help to controlling what amount of glucagon and insulin need to secrete in your body. So it help for the controlling alpha and beta hormone simply. Last gland in your body is the liver. In your digestive gland is the liver. It is the largest gland in our body, and it release and secretion is called bile. Bile is actually help for the digestion of fat in our body. Bile is secreted by the liver cell, and temporarily it is stored in a small structure is called gallbladder, and with the help of bile duct, this bile from the liver or gallbladder enter into the small intestine, because digestion of fat takes place here only. And similarly, the bile duct join with the pancreatic duct, exocrine duct of the pancreas. They join. Hepato means the term which is used for the liver. So there is a connection between the liver duct and the pancreas duct. The liver duct is called the hepatic duct, and the pancreas duct is the pancreatic duct. So when the hepatic duct and pancreatic duct join is called hepatopancreatic duct, through which hair secretion, and this secretion goes into the small intestine for the digestion of the food. So this common duct is called the hepatopancreatic duct, through which the bile and pancreatic juice enter into the duodenum of the small intestine for the digestion of the protein and the fat molecule. This is all about the alimentary canal and digestive gland, which is present in digestive system. In next lecture we will discuss how the food is digested and how the undigested food goes out from your body. Thank you.